What is going on, guys? This is Walk Talk Football, the show where we discuss everything that's on your mind. Today, we're in the Seaport, so let's walk. All right, guys. Guess what? Man United, winners of the Europa League, back to the Champions League. We had a lot of submissions about that from you guys. First up, United back in the Champions League. Who said Mourinho didn't know what he was doing? Hashtag perfect season. Well, I wouldn't say perfect season, but I would say that he accomplished enough to justify him having the job. Next one says, Gizzy's son says, one of the world's biggest clubs, right back to where they belong. I agree. I love Ajax. I wanted Ajax to win, but at the same time, you want Manchester United in the Champions League. You want them doing well because that could kind of maybe justify getting more funds into the club, bring in better players. Mourinho can start to sign the players that he wants, not just the Pogbas of the world. And speaking of which, the final one is, does this mean the rest of the world will now be coming to pillage Ajax's young team? I don't think winning or losing was going to make a difference. They have so much young talent, like a ton of guys under the age of 21, that the world is going to definitely come in, spend a ton of money to get because these guys have potential. They're also in that mid-range. When you go to a club like that, you're going to buy them for 8, 10, 12, maybe 20 million at the max. You're not going to be spending 100 million on these guys. So they're always good investments there. So I think they're definitely going to sell a bunch of players this year. All right, guys, so moving on from the Europa League drama, we've got a few retirements happening or some changes happening within the clubs. If you guys want to know about John Terry, was it an embarrassment because the game was meaningless? His send-off match, his memorial match? No, I don't think it was meaningless. I mean, all of his moments he's not going to relive in a single day or in a single hour or in one match. I mean, he's going to get to live with those memories forever. I think he's done so much for the club. And what do I think about him being done with his playing career? Again, like, I don't think he's going to able to accomplish more as a personal player. Of course, he could latch onto a team and be a substitute role and maybe win another trophy or a title. But for a guy like him who's used to playing week in, week out, there's not much more that he can gain from it. Next up, we have, in the wake of their retirement, we have actually a few guys wanting to talk about Philipp Lahm. In the wake of their retirement, what are some of my favorite Xabi Alonso and Philipp Lahm moments? Well, actually this year, I was doing some stuff in Munich for the opener of the Bundesliga, and Xabi Alonso scored a sick goal. That's not my favorite moment. My favorite moment is me playing against him in Santander in Spain. It was a really cool experience to play against one of the best midfielders in the world. And Philipp Lahm, same thing. My very first Bundesliga game was away to Bayern Munich, and got a chance to match up against Philipp Lahm. He was playing right back, I was playing left back, but they had the ball all the time, which means I was pretty much defending him because he was high and wide all the time. Those are my favorite moments, but guys, we got to talk about something. We've got a comment in here that says, LMFAO at Lahm, one of the worst fullbacks and captains to ever play the game, being called an all-time great just because he won a few Bundesliga titles. Haha, what a joke. This is ridiculous to me. I don't want to bully you for having a comment like that. I welcome all comments, but this guy has won just about everything there is to win. He's a competitor. He's played in multiple positions from center midfield, left back, left midfield, right midfield. He's a versatile player. He's good for the team. He's spoken his feelings, which is very non-traditional for the German players. Usually they're very quiet and they're just very disciplined, but he's always spoke up against or for things that he believes in. So I'm gonna not laugh at that, but I'm definitely going to disagree with you calling him a joke. And the next one, we have one, this guy has a Club America crest in his profile. He says, Tigres van a ganar. If Tigres win, I will change my profile pic to Chivas logo for the summer. Well, big shout out to the Liga MX final. Chivas against Tigres. You've got a Club America crest in your profile. Kind of weird, but that's fine. I get you rooting against somebody, but you shouldn't be rooting for somebody at this point. And anyways, Cha Chivas wants to know, who's your favorite player of the year in Liga MX? Well, guys, actually, we are actually running a competition. And so I don't want you guys to ask me, I'm gonna ask you guys who is your favorite player, because our boys at Copa 90 are doing a competition about the Liga MX Player of the Year, and you can win a PS4 Pro. So click on the link in the description below to play. The players to pick from, by the way, are Andre Pierre Gignac, Chucky Lozano, Rodolfo Pizarro, Nahuel Guzman, Raul Ruiz Diaz, or Joe Corona. So make sure you get on the action, guys. You can also, like I said before, you can win yourself a PlayStation. I'm definitely entering in the competition. I'm not going to say it's me. I'm going to pretend I'm somebody else because I could always use a PlayStation. But make sure you guys tell me who you think was the player of the year in Liga MX. All right, and now John wants to know, nobody gives credit to Real. So he doesn't want to know, he just wants to make a statement that nobody gives credit to Villarreal. I can't speak for everybody, but I've always enjoyed Villarreal. An American is the top scorer ever for that club. If you can name that, then I'll give more credit to you guys. But hey, listen, you guys also had Diego Forlan for a while, Giuseppe Rossi, Marco Senna, a very, very great period. Cosmos legend. Shout out to Pat, who's with us today. But there's a lot of history there. Not history, but the club did do some great things. So to see them kind of doing well again is really great, especially after they were down towards the bottom of the table in years past. So they definitely deserve more credit than others give them, but I always try to give them credit because I've always liked the way they play, and plus to the Yellow Submarines, that's super easy to get behind. On a scale of 1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to Dennis Bergkamp's first touch, how cool is our jersey? Gorilla FC, Gorilla, whichever way you're calling it. Really cool jersey. I had a chance to look through that little lookbook. Very cool stuff you guys are doing. Keep designing, keep creating for the soccer world, because we appreciate that. Just like this jacket from our boys at midfield. Really cool stuff out there. Lots of lifestyle stuff. The game is growing, not just on the field, but off the field through lifestyle things, so keep that up. Next up, please talk about Cibao FC, first Dominican team to make it to the CONCACAF Champions League after winning the CFU Club Championship. I think it's awesome. I think the CONCACAF Champions League has so much potential. It's not really been tapped into yet. But anytime you get these really cool stories, it's a lot like the US Open Cup, where the storylines are really, really great, and you have these unique opportunities for teams to really go above and beyond what they're used to playing and really challenge themselves against the best in the region. Will there be a pre-Champions League final episode? Of course, we're going to give you guys a preview. That's going to be next week on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be great. We're going to talk all about what's led up to this point, and then the stakes. Obviously, we know the stakes. One team's going to win, one team's going to lose, but we're going to give you as much information as we can and jam it into as little time as possible, so make sure you guys are watching next Wednesday. Why are you guys mooning us with that naked doll in the background? First of all, it's not a naked doll. It's a lawn gnome. There's a huge difference. We don't just put naked dolls in the office. And when you say it like that, or when you write it like that, it makes it sound really weird. It was purposeful. It's not like we mooned him or made him moon him. The doll, the lawn gnome came that way, so don't blame us. Blame Burke, the producer. Our boy Rafa is telling us that this Saturday the Brasileiro is going to have its first 2 derbies of the season.
I'm gonna do this. Can I take this one?
Yeah, you can take it.
I saw that tweet. I've been looking in the Brazilian league. So it's Vasco da Gama versus Fluminense and Sao Paulo versus Palmeiras. It's only the 3rd week of the season, so there's not much between these teams yet. So for me, it's all about the fans. Like, it's gonna be crazy atmospheres. Neither of these is the main derby in that city, but still, people are going to be hungry for it. It's going to be wild. I'm sorry for interrupting your show.
No problem.
I'm pretty stoked.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. All right, we'll move on from that, guys. That is actually really cool information. Derbies are derbies. We love them. They're important to us no matter what point they are in the season. So we're excited about it. We hope you guys are too. And if you get a chance to check out any of those Brasileiro games, Serie A games in Brazil, check them out. Let us know what you think. Next up, Strasbourg and Amiens both got promoted to Ligue 1 after getting back-to-back promotions. And Amiens has never been to Ligue 1. Well, actually, fun fact, I think it's really cool that Amiens, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, so say Amiens got back to the first league after not back to the first league, but to the first league for the first time after double or back-to-back promotion. That's really amazing. It's such a huge gap between the 3rd league and the 1st league, so to be able to manage a team and add improvements to get yourself up to the top league is incredibly difficult and something that I don't think gets enough credit. And then the second thing is, actually, here's a fun fact. Strasbourg, who've actually won the 1st league before and have a few other minor trophies from the League Cup and the Coupe de France and things like that. They actually played Amiens in the 2001 League Cup final or French Cup final, and Strasbourg won. It's just kind of a fun fact. Those 2 types of teams don't usually play against each other regularly, especially in a big cup final. So that's a pretty cool thing. But we're excited for both those teams to get a chance back up in the 1st league. Hopefully they can stay up and survive, because it's an extremely difficult task. Believe me, I've been part of promoted teams before. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of effort, and every week, every game means something. Next up, hey Kick, do you think Neymar should stay at Barcelona while Messi is around and playing as one of the best, or Neymar have a shot at winning the Ballon d'Or? He has to play at a different club in the Champions League. It's tough to say what the right decision is for Neymar. I do think it'll be hard for him to win the Ballon d'Or when he has other players around him that are just as good, if not better. I think he needs to challenge himself, but I can't really see Neymar going to England. I would see him going to Italy or a big club in France, something like that, where he can dominate and really score 50, 60 goals and be the man in charge. If he can do that, then maybe he could win a Ballon d'Or. But for now, why should he leave Barcelona? Things are going well. I guess they didn't win anything this year, but they still have all the talent in the world. And then next up, things to look out for in the transfer window. The main thing I think that you should be looking out for is that Ajax, all their players are for sale. Monaco, players are for sale. Teams like Atalanta, they're all going to be rounded up, and then teams are going to pick and choose and try to pluck all the top talent, because those guys are the future of the top level of Europe, and they're all coming out of just a few clubs right now. Of course, there's going to be some other transfers going on. Some big name guys could move. We could see a few surprises that I can't really speculate on right now, but I do think it'll be exciting to see guys like Mbappe, players like that nobody knows. Are they worth 5 million? Like 10 years ago, they would have been worth a couple million and potential. They could be now worth the biggest transfers ever. So staying tuned to Ajax, staying tuned to Monaco, and then Atalanta, other teams like that. We're going to see lots and lots of transfers happening this summer, hopefully exciting ones, and hopefully seeing your teams get improvements so that they can win trophies or titles or challenge for things like cups and stuff like that. Silverware, man, that's what it's all about, and making improvements to your team. So guys, it is time for my favorite part of the show, to address you haters. Unfortunately this week there's no hate towards me, which is fine because I promote love. I'm all about love, but occasionally there does have to be hate. We want your voices to be heard. This one's about Pat this week actually. Ian Linares says Pat is getting sacked, LOL,
Hold
Pat
on.
out.
Why?
Banger in.
All right, Ian. First of all, I'm not getting sacked. I'm clearly here producing this.
You're in a public place. You're in a public place. You can be here no matter what.
And honestly, if it's about FFS, then I was taking a smaller role so I can just chill in the room while we're shooting it. And you know, whatever, Ian. Whatever, I'm still here.
Well, guys, that is all we have. Pat's clearly distressed by that. He says he's still here, whatever that means. We're in a public place, even though perhaps
And
we
I don't
are
know what
letting.
this has to do with Wenger because I'm producing results at my job, and I think people are very satisfied. At least that's what they're telling me to my face.
Yeah.
So, wait, what is that?
So, guys, that is all we have for today. Make sure you get down in the comments and let us know what you think about Europa League and all things football, because that's what this show is all about. Comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you guys later. And if you see Pat, oh, he's still here.
Thinking about
it's a
you,
public
Ian.
place. It doesn't matter if we let him go. He can still follow us anywhere we go until we get a restraining order against him, because Pat's that kind of guy.
Can't sack me. I mean, you can, but I'll still come to work, so whatever. How about I just, oh God.